Yeah. All right. Let's get drawing. Sometimes I'll just lay out some perspective lines very lightly and go off of that. Draw an X, and then go through the middle here. Draw this, and then that gives me my next one. Draw this one through. Gives me my next one. I can eyeball these. Alright. Can you guys see this on the monitor? On the TV?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sweet. There's a lot of detail going on here, so I'm just not gonna even, just gonna block it in first. It's so much easier for me to draw on paper than on the computer. I'm able to go much faster for some reason. I think one of the traps to digital drawing is you can undo. And there's a tendency for me to keep undoing every move. And that allows for a nicer line, but it throws off my rhythm.
The other day I was drawing something on paper,
Mm-hmm.
and I messed up, and I double tapped my fingers.
Yeah. Try
No,
to
I did
undo.
on
Yeah.
complete.
It's like Control Z that thing.
A lot of times I'll just like get so focused on like zooming in and out that I'll try to zoom in my paper, and it doesn't work because that's not how my head works. Like you gotta just bring your face closer to it. But I'm stupid, so
It's funny.
like I said, I haven't saved in 10 minutes.
So that is one advantage. That is one advantage to digital. To doing traditional stuff. Your work is always saved. So you notice that I messed up a little here. Need to correct that. Alright. So 1, 2 arches, a thicker thing. Do 1. Up here, there's 2. And then there's a series of these. Not even gonna count. Just push. now that I've got my lay-in, I can put in a more confident line and make it look like I knew what I was doing all along. A lot of architects will do this thing where they don't try to hit everything right on, like they kind of overdraw a little bit. You guys know what I mean? Like the line just kind of overlaps a little. There's a certain look that comes with that, kind of like I'm not concerned about the 100% accuracy. It's still a gesture. Get out this watercolor brush now. Usually start in with like some dark, blocking in my shadows. The key to watercolor is you gotta spot your highlights early and just avoid touching where the highlights will be. It is. It takes a little bit of planning and anticipation. Know that the watercolor will get lighter and lighter as you continue painting because the brush is going to lose its pigment. So what you want to do in this instance then is to leave the lighter values for things farther away, right? Remember what I was teaching with perspective? Yeah. So if I make these shadows over here darker than the ones over there, it'll make this area look closer to us as well. And the other thing too that's kind of neat is the ink is going to get picked up as well here by this watercolor. And so there's a little bit of, oh no, I didn't finish. Can we go back? Sorry, cheaters. Because I need to lock in this stuff. It's so hard to instruct and draw at the same time. So I'll get lost in
Like you're basically trying to divide your attention. But
exactly. Alright, so the color, putting in color, I just try to do that very lightly. I take it in stages now. And you might want to like practice like a little bit off to the side first. You don't want to just like go right in there and hope that that color works.
Or have another piece of paper on.
Right. You want something on the side,
Yeah.
generally. Just to test it, because sometimes you think it's a certain color and it comes out and it's maybe not as nice as you thought. So
Yeah. There's a comic book artist by Kent Rocafort.
yes, Rockefort is amazing.
His watercolors are crazy.
Something to keep in mind, as I covered last week with you guys, the value is almost more important to get right than the color. And the way you could think about it is like a black and white photo, you still understand what you're looking at, right? And so if you get the values right, you can actually just slightly tint it and it'll feel like you actually have your colors right as well. So this roof is kind of red, so I just wanted to add in a little bit of it. Again, I build it up. I don't try to like attack it with completely saturated colors right away. If you could see on my mixing palette here, all these are sort of different browns. And you'll notice on the photograph that we're going off of, a lot of it is brown in a lot of ways, right? So and then let's get some blue in here. And again, I'm not going to do like a pure blue. It's still going to be kind of mixed in with some of the other values. Again, test it off on the side first. Make sure. You can also do is start off with that and then use the water from the watercolor brush, the water brush, to just kind of let it create a gradient. You want a smooth gradient. And what'll happen, and I don't know if you guys saw this when you guys were adding color, but notice that because the sky is blue in this picture, that there's a little bit of blue that gets picked up on the highlights.
Yeah.
It's basically reflecting a little bit of the sky. Even if the tiles on the roof are red, on some of the reflections, there's a little bit of blue that gets picked up. And any piece of glass that's on here is maybe also get some blue too. So now I'm just building things up. Like I'm getting a better idea now that I have the overall stuff down. Now I have a better idea, and now I can come in with some darker darks. And I'm even drawing a little bit, but not detail drawing, just kind of shapes. Like I can kind of see there's like a doorway behind this right here. It's like a little nice variation in the shadows. That's good for now. Come back later. Sometimes I have to let this sit and then come back later. Like you let it sit so it dries up a little bit,
Yeah.
and then you come back later and
'Cause
you
if
apply.
overwet it,
It'll just soak right through eventually. So you're just gonna have to like put it on pause, come back, and make it nicer a little bit later. And also it gives you a chance once it dries to like add in more detail with the inks, and so you just kind of keep doing that. There's a quick little demo on watercolor and sketchbook.